Hello and welcome back to Tale of Two Wastelands. I'm Vic and you're watching yet another Let's Play channel, and I am increasingly convinced that I have never done this stuff before. So let's see. Ooh, he's got a lot of hit points, huh? Too bad about that whole crippling a limb kills the thing. Would it have been preferable to disable the... Well, I have made my decisions. Gimme. Thank you. No. Let me go. Alright. Drone control terminal. The Saturnite armor plating on the giant Robo-Scorpion has exceeded expectations, mostly. While it's virtually impervious to small arms fire, the sonic emitter that Parsons brought in managed to fry several of the prototype's subsystems. We'll have to look into improved EMP shielding for the next prototype. On a more positive note, the prototype's new atomic laser is performing admirably. Some residual radiation is left behind after the weapon discharges. It may be necessary to requisition more radiation suits and meds as a precaution. The constant improvements to the giant Robo-Scorpion has rendered the Protectron models we've been using as hostile communist forces largely ineffective. At this stage, they're little more than distractions. Okay. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe this was supposed to be some kind of epic fight where I... where I creep around and try to...
We haven't seen anybody in a while. Maybe the monsters have stealth suits too.
Creep around and try and find some kind of advantage. But I brought my advantage with me. Yes, I did. The new atomic laser is putting an incredible strain on the giant Robo-Scorpion's generator. Damn thing shut down right in the middle of weapons testing last week. I pushed for reducing the laser's output by 25%. Instead, they slapped a backup generator onto the Scorpion. Dangerous, if you ask me. The systems weren't designed to handle the power from two systems at once, and if some rookie tech fires up the backup generator too early, well... Well, what? Would it be as catastrophic as if somebody shot the tail with an alien blaster pistol? Because that seems to have been pretty devastating. Alright, I think we're good up here. Oh, and there are some commies I could have sent out as cannon fodder. There's a lot of turrets over there. I wonder if that means I was supposed to try and sneak my way over there. Oh, audio sample Rad Scorpion. Okay. That might be fun. Deactivate. Man, that scorpion, when it blowed up, it scattered bits all over the place. Okay, gimme. Sure. Very hard locked emergency shutdown that we don't need because it's already dead. Oh, that's a lot of ones that are still left, isn't it? Did I already get that one? I guess I did. Alright, well, that's what I get for being too cocky, isn't it? Come here, tablet. I have need of you for the first time in a long time. There's a problem playing a video. I don't want you playing a video. I want you loading a web browser. How about you do that? Web browser. There we go. Now this definitely makes for good TV, right? Excuse me? What happened to... I used to have a solver. What happened to it? There it is. Decimating, separation, definition, references, xenophobes, ransacking, meditation, casualties. Here we go. And we begin with decimating for a stunning 1 out of 10. Leaving references. Alright. And that's why it pays to have a tool. Per instructions from the higher-ups after that one time the giant robo-scorpion's attack routine malfunctioned, we've installed an emergency shutdown procedure. Let's hope we never have to use it. The prototype systems will all be fried and we won't be up and running again for weeks. The military is expecting delivery of a battle-ready model within 6 months, and the project has already had enough delays. Alright, well, I'm glad that I read a log about the emergency shutdown procedure. What do you say we go play with some of them other turrets, though? Yeah, I know I could just go into the next region, but there's stuff that isn't in my pockets yet. Okay? You know, if I was Dr. Mobius, I think I would have mined this region just to slow me down, you know? Okay, goodies. Oh yeah. When you're facing a giant rad scorpion that shoots an atomic laser at you, and it radiates your surroundings, expired stim packs are exactly what you're looking for. Empty, eh? Can't say that I blame you. Locked average. shouldn't have any trouble with this one. Oh yeah, and also bypass. Good, now I've got all of the turrets shooting at the robot Scorpion. That'll be very helpful in getting this battle wrapped up. Good, and I believe I'm all set. Now we can move on to the next area. Do you think Dr. Mobius has any other tasty treats for me to battle with? Oh, or do I want to go... Nah, you know what? I can do it after. It'll be okay. Doesn't this place look familiar? Oh wow. So not only is this brain tank growling at me, but Mobius done been busy.
Oh, hello there. You are there, aren't you? Forgive my confusion. So hard to tell these days. You seem familiar somehow. I'm guessing you're here for your brain, perhaps? It's just up there. Such a nice brain, young, very bright. A little hard to see you. Can you walk into my left, right FOV cone? Ah, that's it. You're coming into focus nicely.
Is that better?
Depth perception is a problem with this old monitor of mine. Went black a while ago. That's old age for you. Should look at getting the visual nerves reattached. It's just that the right eye would see the wrong things. The flying tortoises were the worst. Would you care for a mentat?
Thanks.
I love mentats. Delicious and smarty. I have all sorts of amazingly science-erific thoughts and ideas when those chalky tablets are zipping through my biogel. I forget them all not long after, though, especially with the data constipating my memory core. Afraid binary streams might shoot out my chassis. Had to start using the dome floor and walls here to inscribe equations, although I've somewhat lost track of where they start and end.
You aren't exactly what I was expecting.
Really? That implies preconceived notions, theories, and a hypothesis about this meeting? Please extrapolate. What was I supposed to be like? After all, it might be worth a cognitive realignment if your theoretical Mobius is better than I.
I like that attitude, Dr. Farnsworthy. Why did you steal my brain?
Oh, a variety of reasons. You're something of a homily. Anomaly? You're really quite special, and not in the cranially challenged way. You see, you are the most successful brain extraction experiment ever performed here at Big Mountain. A victim of your own success, as it were. If you were to go back with what your brain knows about the procedure, well, your brain could be popped back in and you could walk right out of here. Can't have brains moving around of their own volition.
Well, that's what they have bodies for. Why is that a problem?
I'm not sure, except that I'm sure there's a very good reason for it. I have very good reasons for almost everything I do. Even if I forget them occasionally, although I feel this one is especially important. Oh well.
But I want to leave.
Now, that seems to be rather hormonal of you. Flight or fight response, you know. Hard to cut that out completely. Your brain is here, safe with me. We chat over mentats.
No. It's not flight. It's that I have shit to do. I have to go deal with that Ulysses guy, and then I've got to go conquer New Ve... Okay, so I guess it's more of a fight response, really, is what I'm getting at. I need my brain back. I'm curious about some things.
Oh, curiosity. I experience that less now that I know everything. Or maybe it was when I found out some unpleasant answers.
I can't fix your monitor, but if you're getting ghost reception, I can fix that.
The ghosts aren't real? That changes everything. Why, I can save my computing power for other perceptual impossibilities. Please be my guest. The receptor is there, and the side-switching wobbly bob, just turn that. Good. Better? Oh, yes, that feels wonderful. This is even better than my afternoon mentats break.
Can you tell me about your robo-scorpions?
Well, every scientist needs an army. Mine came to me after these rather large scorpions kept coming in from the desert, like poisonous frosting. How scary, I thought, but they had survived when nothing else had. Perfect candidates for improvement as a reward for their tenacity. Then I thought, what if they shot energy bolts and acted as walking eyes and data-drained computers and acted as bullhorns? Then I made them bigger. Then I thought about custard. I do so love custard. Or was it mustard? Mustard custard. I miss sugars and salts.
I was curious about some things.
I find things curious as well. Go on.
You don't seem aggressive.
Oh, I was probably tripping hard on Psycho when I sent that. Had to work myself up to it. Not usually violent, except when I am. Then, watch out! So many chems, such varieties. Whenever I take mentats, I can feel my entire chassis breathe like a big spherical lung. As for the Psycho, sometimes get the chem dispositories in my tank all switched up. Go in the wrong tube. Still, served its purpose.
So you built the Robo-Scorpions and issued threats to keep the think tank occupied?
Did I? Maybe I did. Can't have them leaving. Some reason for it. Ethics or, con-science? You and your brain are quite alike. I'm sure it knows the raisins better than I do.
Everything you've told me doesn't add up.
Dr. Mobius. Rather catchy, isn't it? It's my name, and my new name overwrote the old one. This name's as real as you or I, although I believe your brain expressed similar incredulity at the nature of such an appellation. Someone's been watching too many old-world science fiction movies, it said. I believe it meant me. I must admit I have a vulnerability for holotape fantasies of planets and robots and all that is forbidden. As for the name I was born with, like the think tank, we were all reprogrammed to forget them, take on new names. It enforces the recursion loop in our perception programming.
You reprogram their names as part of a recursion loop to trap their processors?
Now, trap is a rather harsh word, like excrement. Not an inappropriate word, but still rather harsh. But, yes, I did take some liberties with their programming. It's all right, they don't remember. I certainly didn't until you said trap, and then I said excrement, and then...
This is the same voice actor that did President Eden, isn't it? Our recursion loop is designed to prevent the flow of information, so...
The radar fence to keep the think tank hemmed in wasn't really enough. They keep testing things. They would have found a way to disarm it. I suspect I have Plan 9s in place, but I may have coded myself to forget them, just in case. They're probably very dangerous, lethal, or worse. So I had to do something else to keep them occupied here, or as you like to say, trapped. I prefer to have several Plan 9s in case the 7s fail.
Klein, Mobius, O's a circle, 8's an infinity symbol. They're all loops.
Oh, you figured it out. No pun intended. Dr. O, which is actually not his real name multiplied, since you can't multiply his real name in the first place. Ouroboros, Klein, they have all forgotten themselves. And not only themselves, but the world, sense of time and history. All that is left is what's here. I reprogrammed their chronometers, geometers, and cartography programs. This is now their world, here, Big Mountain. It was a merciful lobotomy, really, thinking back. They were my friends, but sometimes they would take things too far. And the world isn't ready for that kind of too-far thing-taking. That's my professional opinion, anyway. And I am told I was once quite professional.
Minor detail.
Really? It is so unlike me to make an error in anything I do.
So you lobotomize the think tank, why terrorize them?
Well, it's simple. Despite their many failings, they are rather bright. They are the think tank for a reason. That I didn't change. Without something to distract them, make them afraid, they would simply deduce what had happened. And when they start deucing it up, then you came along, the final variable solved. They saw that their world was larger than they perceived. Bacteria, finally able to see its host.
There were other visitors, though.
There have been other visitors to make them doubt their perceptions, but you are the one who dialed back their monitor micromagnifiers. You were irrefutable proof that there was a world outside. And then there was the whole brain fiasco, which forced me to take steps. See, your brain had a special kind of wrinkle, a uniquity that they had never thought to try in all their countless escape attempts.
The bullet.
Yes, very good. I should have mentats ingest you instead of the other way around. Mentats. In any event, you showed up at the think tank, and because you had suffered a cranial injury in just the right place, bullets in the head are usually much more fatal, and yours was a light case of bullet headitis. But it was enough for the autodock in the sink to change its programming to fix the problem, and the brain extraction technology for once worked. That gave the think tank the knowledge its brains couldn't possess. With that knowledge, the procedure can be reversed. If they obtain that procedural data, they can use it to mush and modify their cranial selves into hosts to slip past the radar fence. I'm sure of it. And once they're off the reservation...
Klein said they had the idea to get the technologies after your broadcast.
I consider coincidence to be profanity, along with the words astrology, herbal tea, and luck. So watch it, potty mouth. My threat broadcast is designed to instill and install fear, and along with the emotional download, other data rides the fear carrier wave. It prompted them to focus on retrieving those technologies and bring them to attack me. And coincidentally, pardon my language, all those technologies are needed to put a brain, your brain, back into its skull properly.
What is the purpose of the technologies?
The X2 antenna can be used to focus your alpha wave frequency thought patterns. The sneaky suit? Why, it houses a cardiac regulator. And the sonic sound wave projecto emitter was never intended as a weapon. It was a medicinal vertebrae pulse desensitizer. In short, brains, a heart, and courage. Spine. I think there was a story once where a band of murderous thugs sought these things. They had them all the time in the story. Didn't stop them from murdering to get them. And it won't stop the think tank either.
Was there any other data transmitted in your threat broadcast?
Yes, my overly aggressive cammed-up broadcast was designed to keep reinforcing the forget, fear, rinse, and repeat program. Oh, and the get me the things to castrate your only possible escape attempt. But I couldn't delete you or your arrival any more than I could the other visitors. Only so much science can do when you started talking to them. You're really quite difficult to ignore, you know. It's because you're, well, rather intriguing, if you'll forgive an old brain for saying so.
But the think tank downloaded the schematics, not the items.
Oh, that means my plan is a total failure. That is unfortunate. Oh well, at least I tried.
I'm curious about some things.
Yes, this is getting interesting. You are just filled with these little slices of curiosity, aren't you?
I need my brain back.
Do you? You seem fine without it. And does it even want to go back with you? Maybe you should ask it. It's quite independent, has all manner of opinions. Tell you what, I'll leave it up to your brain. If it wants to go, then fine. If not, well, you should respect its wishes.
Time for me to go?
Indeed. The goodbye part of our little chat, then. Goodbye. Please mind the equations on the floor. I'm imagining all sorts of imaginary numbers right now.
Neat. Alright, so we are headed toward an ending where the eccentric scientists all put their brains back in bodies and, I suppose, become less eccentric and probably also better scientists. Plenty of stuff to loot, it looks like. Hit my brain.
Well, well, look who finally dragged themselves in out of the wasteland. And where have we been, Crawling through pits of radioactive muck again?
This is too weird. I'll be back later.
Barring the unlikely event that I evolve some sort of rocket-propelled locomotion, I will be here.
And that's because I am once again all out of time, so come back and see me again next time, where I will have a chat with my own brain. Talk to you soon. At least it's not growling anymore.